Hello, everybody, and thank you for tuning into The Grit Life. This is where we sit down with people who are aspiring for greatness and haven't given up in the process. So today, we're very excited to have an international superstar DJ / award-winning professional real estate superhero. And
dad.
And dad. And his name is Todd Burgener, and we're very excited to have him. So welcome to the show.
Welcome, Todd.
Big fan of the show. Thank you guys. I appreciate you letting me be a part of it.
No worries. Today is about just kind of talking about what drives you, how you stay gritty, and why you have decided not to give up in the midst of everything being so hard.
Sure.
So,
yeah.
What makes you happy, Todd?
Being busy. I feel like being busy means I'm being productive. I'm probably making income, which fuels everything, right? Yeah. We've got bills to pay, mouths to feed. So that itself is the grit of it, I feel like. So, and that's just the way that I've always been accustomed to life, I guess. You know, I went to college, played soccer, got out of school, started working right away. Never took the year off to travel, never did anything like that. Went straight into work mode. So it's been like that since I was young 20s, really. Now I'm 43.
Wow.
So I've had it's not stopped. And then, you know, as you mentioned, Dad, having kids, you know, that's my why now. So it was money for fun stuff.
Sure.
Now it's money to provide a legacy.
Yes.
And the little ones I grew up well. My dad sold ads for the Yellow Pages. He was very successful.
Nice.
We weren't spoiled kids, but if I was good, I was rewarded.
Yeah.
We had a boat on Lake Travis. You know, we had nice things. We had a nice home in a nice neighborhood in Round Rock where I grew up.
Yeah.
And I want to provide that shit for my kids, man.
Totally.
Yeah.
You know? And
Absolutely.
so it starts a long time ago, but really, you know, being in real estate, I was able, because I lived here for so long, I was able to build a big network, and living here a long time in the real estate business is a who you know business. The more people you know, as long as you're good at it and you're competent, you build a good reputation as a good real estate agent in Austin.
Yeah.
The referrals grow, and so we've been very fortunate in Austin, a booming real estate market, as you guys know, if you've lived under a rock. So we've hit a lot of goals, we're exceeding goals, but it comes with grit, man.
Yeah.
And that's what this is all about.
Totally. One of the things me and Luis talked about, even when we started this show, was about, okay, like we can all agree that we've put in the work, we've identified a direction, we've even met a lot of the goals that we've set. One thing I've realized is like pretty much every goal I set, I end up meeting. And then the challenge is like, well, man, how big are you setting your goals?
Yeah.
And then that's a whole mind fuck to be like, okay, shit, 10x.
Yeah.
Uncle
How we gonna
G,
grow it? How we gonna scale it?
I didn't think I'd ever beat that goal.
Yes,
Exactly.
and so that's the beautiful part. But what we talk about is, and what we relate on is like, man, once you start meeting some of those goals, you start getting comfortable.
Yes.
For sure.
And be like, you know what? I deserve to be restful today. I deserve not to put in as much effort.
And you get comfortable.
That's a poison though.
Oh, it is.
And we always find ourselves like, now that you can afford to rest and have fun, now isn't the time. You know, life has rhythm, and it's like when things are up, you got to go hard as hell. And then when things are swinging the other way, you got to hunker down, prepare, readjust. You know what I'm saying? So that you can be prepared for that next upswing. So anyways, what are some things that you do that help you stay in beast mode?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because it's like you 12 Rivers, shout out to them.
Yep.
The best place to work,
Absolutely.
number one. That's amazing.
6 years.
Yeah.
You guys are you guys are killing it.
Yeah.
What
You're
makes
a dad
you
and you're a DJ. I mean, all that together. How you stay like on the grid, you know?
Yeah, for sure. And I get this all the time. People, you know, see what I'm doing, and you know, social media is one thing, real life is another. You get the highlights, right? So it's not all fairies and rainbows on social media. I think the first one is sleep.
Okay.
I do get good sleep. You know, I'm a work till midnight, get sleep. My alarm is 6:45 every morning, and that's when my day starts. So I get about 7 hours, give or take, and that's kind of my number. If I get less than that, I'm yawning through lunch meetings. I'm tired. I don't like that feeling.
You're not productive.
I'm a believer in power naps.
Yeah, I don't do coffee, so I don't have anything like that to get me through the morning. Just never been a coffee guy. I guess I just don't like the taste of coffee. Which I don't, That's a weird thing because so many people rely on it. I'll do like a chai tea every now and then.
Okay.
So the sleep is a big one though, because if you want to take breaks, and like you said something that stuck, it's that the lack of caring kind of. I like to use the word entitlement. Like you get tired of stuff.
Totally.
Like, so I did so great. I'm entitled to that break.
Yes.
I'm entitled to like just take a week off. I felt myself falling into some of that previously, and Kim, my wife, called me out on it, and I was like, okay, I get it. Mind check there. Let's not do that again. Let's just stay on it. So, but to answer your question, I think sleep is huge. Sleep is very important. Staying busy. With us, real estate is kind of the driver. That's the financial, bang for us. Yes. DJing is more of a passion project. Soccer, more of a passion project. In my 20s, DJing was what I did for a source of income. Yeah. And then in 2010, when the market kind of switched, I got into the real estate side of things. And so that's where it's kind of like taken off. But I think just staying busy, staying dedicated, staying in front of people, always hustling, always working, always networking, because that's huge in real estate. Yeah. Every person I talk to is a potential client.
Right.
And I think just being a good person and in front of as many people as possible is what really keeps the train going, man. But whenever I do fall into those tired modes, again, I just go back to, I think about my bank account.
Right.
And I'm like,
it's the easiest motivator.
Yeah, because I should go back Friday, to it. It's like, if I'm not closing on deals, it starts with that, and then it's like, okay, let's backtrack. How many people do I need to talk to this week to get this many sales, to get this many conversions? Yes. So it's really working backwards, right?
Targets.
So yeah, exactly, and that's like rule of thumb, rule of sales, right? Yeah. The pipeline, constantly, sales are closing, booming, great, everything's good, but what am I doing to feed the pipeline? Yeah. And so I have a team that helps me with the pipeline because I forget about that stuff, and I'm so focused over here, shaking hands and kissing babies that you got to pay attention to the pipeline. So that keeps me going, that keeps me motivated. Yeah. And I think just staying in a right state of mind. Like, I'm a pretty happy person. Yeah. I don't get really upset about stuff. I don't get depressed about stuff. I have soccer as like my activity outlet. Sure. Music is like another type of outlet. Yeah. And then work is work, right? Yep. That's always going to be there. I'm passionate about real estate, but it's my job.
No,
it's
totally.
My career.
Totally.
There's a big difference between your passions and your careers, I guess. Like, I'm not passionate about real estate like I am soccer and music, but I have to get paid and make money.
Yeah, of course.
To your advantage, or to the kudos to you, I think that having those dual dynamics is really important. And I want to bring it up even in the sense of the entertainment industry. I feel like people that have had access to being in the entertainment industry, in another episode I was saying it as like the hustler lifestyle even, you get to see the behind the scenes of like, from entertainers' perspective, how to manipulate the crowd, how to create energy, how to like build a brand. Yeah. You need the posters and the promotion. Sure. I mean, like that type of thinking is very unique for people that aren't in the industry. And, I've had that, you've had that, and it's been a very dynamic asset in our tool belt.
100%.
To like create momentum for a business. Yeah. And I know once I realized that I can take all the entertainment stuff that I've learned and apply that to creating a successful business, it's been really fun and really awesome. I've been able to do things that other people are scared to do.
I did exactly that, actually.
No, exactly.
I went from...
Tell us about it.
Yeah, so when I got into music, I always had a day job. I worked Monday through Friday. I was in insurance business, and played music on the weekends. So that was my life in my 20s. I met Kim at 32, and that kind of changed. Yeah. But I knew how to market myself. I knew how to use social media. MySpace was just coming out.
Oh, yeah.
I'm from the old days.
I met my wife on MySpace.
There you go. Top friends.
Top friends, right? Oh, yeah.
I came from the passing out flyers and putting them on cars days. There was no there was no Facebook, MySpace, etc. We started an email list. So I learned grassroots how to market.
Guerrilla marketing.
Totally. Yeah. On the streets, man. And that led into social media. So I kind of mastered how to use social media as an artist and being creative as artists. A lot of DJs and artists aren't creative. Very true. They have teams that do that for them. They're not necessarily introverts, but that's just not their thing. Their thing is the music. Yeah. Well, lucky me, my thing was the opposite. Yes. I got into the DJing side second. So I came on promoting other artists and throwing other events. And then really what happened was I just wasn't happy with the music I was hearing from my friends. And I was like, I'm just going to do this shit myself. Boom. And then I already knew how to throw a party. And I already knew how to market. And that's kind of where I took off as my own DJ. So I escalated quickly. into self-promotion, and then 32, I decided to change gears and get into real estate. And I already knew how to use social media because I had all this background, 10 years of how to promote myself, and living here a long time, like I mentioned earlier. And that just kind of took off. You know, I knew how to do video.
They gave you flyers.
Yeah.
Oh, I promote these flyers.
Absolutely.
I got this.
Absolutely. It was a no-brainer, you know. And then as you know, you got hit up by realtors all over. Hey, how do I do this? How do I do that? You know, I was getting hit up by realtors. How do you do ads? How do you do video? I'm like, nah, you're way behind. You're so in the wrong direction. I'll give you some nuggets, you know, but I'm not here to right. Well, I was never in that space, but I mean, I'll always help people out, right?
Of course.
Yes, sir. But I had a jump on a lot of people that were like, hey, should I create a business page or a personal page? I'm like, well, everybody's different, you know. I know what works for me.
Everybody's different.
Everybody has their own thing, right? You know, and everybody does do it different still to this day, you know, and I do it the way I do it. So,
That's awesome.
Yeah.
No, I think it's special.
And I was going to say, I mean, doing DJ, having fun, creating parties, I mean, networking like crazy. I mean, you got it, you know?
Yeah.
But when you realize that, like, hey, I'm not, it's my passion, I'm having fun, but the grid's there and I'm not making as much as I could make in another vehicle. So when you realize that, and you mentioned something about 32, what happened between the 20s to the 30s that made you realize, you know what, I love my passion, but I deserve more.
Sure, great question. You know, I hit 30, looking back, it's hilarious because I hit 30 feeling like I was 40 years old or something. But I hit 30 and I was like, I'm working at this company, I'm single, friends around me are getting married. I'm okay with being the 40-year-old bachelor. That wasn't really the thing, but it was like, what am I doing? I had a job, I didn't have a career. I was selling insurance and going to work and getting my paycheck and playing music on the weekend, and life was good. And at that time, it kind of was a party. And I was meeting party women and friends, and nothing really stuck. And I dated, but nothing really stuck. And I think I really just had like it wasn't one particular instance where I had an eye-opening experience and I need to do this. I think it was just like I was conscious of what was going on, and honestly, it was money motivated. I was making about here. I was at a ceiling. I was paying my bills. I had a car. I was renting a house. I wasn't buying a house. Not everything was just okay. And I wanted more. That salary, I was like, where am I going with this? You know, and 2 years later, I dealt with that for a couple years, stayed in that space. And then I met Kim, honestly, and, you know, I owe her a lot of it because I had this, like, you know, I want to do better early in our relationship. Like, how are you as a person? What are you into? You know, she saw it, that I had so much more potential.
Wow.
Yeah, totally. She was the driver for me to do that. And I had always kicked around real estate. A couple of my buddies were in real estate, and I saw how they were living. And so I went and did property management. I didn't jump in on the real estate sales side. I started in property management. And I was in a cubicle. I did it for 3 or 4 years. That was when the market was down. That was 2008 to like 9, 10, and then to 11, it started to pick back up. So those realtor friends were like, hey, you should come on the sales side now. Now's the time. And Kimmy, my wife at the time, now 3 years in, she was like, you should totally do it. Now she knows me, right? You should totally do it. You have a huge network. You know how to promote yourself. You're perfect, ideal. And I was like, oh, but I don't get a paycheck every Friday?
Exactly.
How was that? Like, eat what you kill? Like, what? I didn't even fathom that. So I did it. I took a leap, man.
Perfect.
I took a leap, and I did it because at this time I knew I was going to marry Kim. I knew she was going to be my wife, and I got to provide now. And I went into that mode. If I'm going to do this, I got to start now, so that 10 years down the road, come to find out, it only took us 3 or 4 years to get to where we needed to be, and everything from there just catapulted and grew. Crazy growth, explosive. We didn't expect that, but thankful and grateful for that. But she was like, you should do this. And once she gave me the seal of approval, I was like, I can't fail now. Like, once I jump in and do this, I have to do it full on. And I got her support.
Perfect. I just want to give a round of applause to your wife.
Absolutely. Shout out Kimmy.
Yes.
She knows that I do, you know, give her kudos every day. I thank her. She Not to go on a tangent about her, but we work as a business together. She does all of our back end stuff. She's basically my operations manager.
Perfect.
So I get to go out and do this, and sell homes and be in front of people, which is what I was born to do.
Yes.
And she's in the back end taking care of everything, making sure the train is on the tracks.
Yes, holding it together.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
She is legit the glue. So, and we started a little family business. Now we have 3 agents with us. We're a cool little team. We got a good little operation, but it took that leap of faith 10 years ago. Well, 9 technically. To get into it and to get rolling, and here we are, and we did 50 million almost last year.
Wow!
My goal was 10 million 5 years ago. So to do 5x that, is fucking bananas, man. And like you guys were saying earlier, there was a time when I was like, 10 million?
Yeah, what the heck?
Not a chance.
Yeah.
Fuck, what am
I'm
I doing?
okay with
I can't even count to 10 million
a year, right?
Yeah, 100%. And you know, back to the goal setting thing, I was setting these goals that I thought were realistic, but maybe not, but that's the point of setting goals, right?
Yeah.
And then I was just crushing them, and then I was like, okay, I got to set some higher goals, and then I'd crush that one. Yeah, and it was just, in real estate, once you get into it in the first couple years, it starts to snowball, and then it becomes this thing, and it's a machine. And you're like, fuck, we got something here.
Nice.
Now I'm a lifer. Now I'm in. Like, that's what I do. And then music became more of a hobby.
Yeah.
I don't even get paid to do it anymore. I do it because it's a passion of
No,
music.
totally.
Yeah.
And just to keep my toes in the scene a little bit, you know. I mean, I had a good following for 20 years at it, you know, and people still, I always said, as long as people still come out and support it, I'm going to continue to do it, right?
That's right.
And now it's more of a thing because it's not every Saturday, it's more like every quarter. And so my kids are older and have kids now. They got to prepare 3 months ahead of time to go out for a night to get a sitter. Me too, you know, and it's now more of a thing. So when I do something, we usually do it pretty big, you know, we don't go out nightclubbing as much anymore, obviously, with kids and stuff and business. But yeah.
And then you want to wake up early. You want to wake up early. You want to get your sleep.
Hey, those boys still wake up at the same time, regardless of what time I come home at night.
I know.
I'm very lucky to have a wife that's like, you know what? Why don't you sleep in this morning? I'll take care of the kids.
Oh,
you know,
that's
she does that more than she should. I should definitely.
There's power in having, you know, a dual dynamic in a relationship.
Power couple.
Man.
So
I mean, I owe a lot to Alana, my wife.
Say the same. I see your dynamic.
Right. But again, same with Luis and Jen.
Right. I saw y'all's episode.
Thank you.
Thank you.
To talk on just like a little separate tangent real quick. I truly believe in like, okay, everything in the universe has a male and a masculine and feminine part to it, right? So I found this new thing called the Kabbalion, and it's the 7 Hermetic Principles.
Oh, wow.
You ever heard of it?
About to get deep.
Yeah. Have you ever heard of it?
I haven't.
Okay. The 7 Hermetic Principles, this thing is like ancient text. It goes way back. But it's super basic, and some of them are like correlation, mentalism, everything is from the mind. Like we can create the reality we live in, the type of vibration we operate at dictates the energy that we create around us. And I think all those different things add up to what we are currently practicing, right? Sleeping and eating right and having a positive attitude and having good disciplines and habits. Like all of those things contribute to who we are, and it's not easy to keep up with that lifestyle. Like you said, we get comfortable. Sometimes I forget why I'm doing it. Like obviously my kids, my bank account, some days that doesn't feel enough.
Right.
Yeah.
Fuck them kids, fuck that bank account.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I didn't do me.
Yeah.
You know, but the older you get and the more time goes on, you realize that that's not the right answer.
Sure.
And so there's
That's
nothing
selfish.
there's nothing to it but to do it, and you have to confront those feelings, you have to confront those decisions, and make sure you make the right decisions, because there is a right decision.
Sure.
Right? So speaking on all of that, these 7 Hermetic Principles, it really reigns true to, like I said, the habits. And when I see other people living those habits in a daily practice, I try to get around them. That's why I'm doing the show with Luis.
Yes.
I mean, Luis has a successful solar company.
Okay.
This man he door knocks. He has teams that
we
door
have a
knocks.
door knocking team.
No,
we get rejection all the time. People say no, go away, get out of my yard.
But
Totally.
I was very intrigued by the effort and that Luis puts in, and something with this grit thing is that effort beats talent every time. Right, and that's another thing that I see in Luis, another thing I see in you, and another thing I identify in myself. Like I am not the best video guy, I'm not the best salesman, but you know what? I am putting in the effort, and that's that's the only thing I can bank on, right? I mean, like, I have my own ceilings and aptitude, and I try to get better with my habits and to perform better. But I am who I am, and so I got to do the best I can with what I got. Go ahead.
And I wanted to add, Todd, because I mean, you look super young. When you say you're like in that age,
it's that sleep thing.
Yeah,
I'm
like, dude,
telling you,
you are not close to that. But
it's the sleep. It's the sleep, though.
But one thing that really,
genes.
yes, exactly. But one thing that really caught my attention is like, I mean, you have to pick the right vehicle, which is real estate. I mean, I think you have a phenomenal vehicle for not only get rich, but the wealth creation, which is the legacy for your family.
For sure.
Okay, and then one thing you said is like, hey, I want to give that same life that I had, or even 10x it to my kids, to my wife. So. To the audience that's seeing us today, what do you do to stay gritty? I mean, you sleep well. Obviously, you have a great team. I mean, your wife is essential for what you're performing and how you're performing. Mm-hmm. But how you stay gritty as far as your life goes on? I mean, once you achieve certain goals, or who's your mentor? Who you follow? I mean, what gets you to stay gritty to continue doing what you're doing?
I think I'm super money motivated.
Okay, money.
Yeah, man. Like, I want to have nice things. I've got a little taste of it.
Yeah.
I can always do better.
Yes.
I can always sell more homes.
Yes.
More expensive homes.
Yes.
I can grow the team. Mm-hmm. I'm huge on quality of life and like being just a well-rounded human. And I think all these little things make that a great overall big picture. Mm-hmm. It all just fits and it works. I have a lot of different mentors, man. I have like real estate mentors. I have friends that are mentors. My dad's a mentor, family. And I bounce stuff all the time, but I think staying busy, time blocking is huge for me.
Okay.
So like with real estate, every day is different, which is great because I've sat in a cubicle for 10 years before, and it was like punch in, answer your phone for 10 hours. And leave and do whatever you were doing, right? So that's one thing that I love about real estate is every day is different. That really keeps me motivated and keeps me going because it's always a new challenge. I'm a workaholic.
Correct.
I've always got to be doing something.
Yes.
And my wife kind of hates it at times because I could be putting other time into other things, and then sometimes music creeps in a little bit too much and I have to scale that back.
Yeah.
And then sometimes soccer is taking a little bit too much and I have to scale that back. But work is always most important, and I think just trying new things in marketing. I'm a creative at heart, not like to the level of Jared, but I have to be because I have to market.
That's right, 100%.
Absolutely. And so just doing diverse things keeps me going. And to answer your question, I think money motivates me 100%.
And you nailed it.
Yeah.
You have to be money motivated.
That's my drive.
Like, I think
there's nothing wrong with that.
No, I mean, I feel
money
weird
motivated.
saying that because who doesn't want to be rich? Like, who doesn't want to have nice things?
Yeah.
Who doesn't want all those things, right? And I'm okay with saying it out loud. I'm not saying I am all those things, but I inspire to be all that, again, for the kids, for the legacy.
The legacy.
I don't want my kids, they'll probably work as hard. I don't want them to have to go through the shitty stuff, right? If you can.
Exactly.
And they see the work ethic in me. I come home late all the time, and they are getting old enough to where they know that. Yeah. And they know, Dad, are you going to work today? What's going on? Like, oh, you don't have to work? Yes! And they start, my 5-year-old gets it.
Yeah.
I think just keeping a schedule and routines and diet and exercise and all those things just in one, for me, it all works. Like when I post shit at the gym, my trainer that I use on and off for the last 10 years, I'm good for about 6 months and then I'll fall off. And then I'll do like 6 months and I'll fall off. Well, he's into promoting his shit on Instagram, and he'll tag me. So then I'll go into my feed, and my emojis are like me throwing up. Yeah, I hate this because I fucking hate the gym. Yeah, I hate it.
Okay,
I hate working out. Yep. I want to play soccer.
That's right.
But I'm 43. I gotta keep this shit going so that I'm healthy on the soccer field, right? And I'm not a gym guy, so exercise is huge. I work out like 2 days a week at the gym. I play soccer once a week or twice a week. And that's kind of my thing, the soccer is like, I can turn everything off and I get 90 minutes on the pitch and no kids, no wife, no work, no nothing. And I have fun. And that's pretty much my fun. You know?
Gotcha.
When I'm doing music, it's fun, but it's more social and interacting, and people like, I'm very approachable, obviously, and people want to chat. Most of the time they want to talk about real estate now, which is fine, because when I'm out, I'm still working, right?
Prospecting.
Always, man. That's what I'm saying. Always. I'll literally be having headphones on. They're like, hey, how's the market? I'm like, hold on. I'm in the middle of a mix or something, right? But it's come to that. Which is fine. Because at least they're asking me and not somebody else. Because if they're asking me, then I know what the next question is. Should I sell my house? Absolutely. I'll be over on Tuesday. Let's talk about it. You know what I mean? And
these are good problems.
And I've always got business that way, from being out, and that network of people was always kind of convoluted into things. But, I'll go back to the question. I think it's routines.
Okay.
It's sleep. It's motivation. I'm super motivated. I'm always motivated to do stuff. I'm not lazy, I guess. I'm a grinder. I'm a grit.
So many people are lazy, man.
Yeah. I don't expect it to come to me either. I know that I have to go get it. I never, self-made, I guess is the word. I didn't have a trust.
There's
my
a lot
dad
of realness
did good,
to that,
but,
though.
It is. And I watched my dad hustle.
Yeah.
I watched my mom hustle. She had 3 jobs at one point, when they got separated to raise 3 boys.
That's right.
Like, she's a hustler.
That's right.
Till they retired past 65, both of them. Like, my dad had to pull them away from work at 75 years old.
Wow.
He's still got it. It's in our DNA.
Yeah,
I think.
that's good.
And now having kids, that's my why. But to not the burnout, which is a whole nother conversation.
Right.
I teeter on burnout all the time, but I think if I keep to those principles, which is exercise, stay active, block time for what's important with work, and just keeping good with the wife. Happy wife, happy life.
Exactly.
You guys know, man.
Yes.
All those things are just a recipe for success. I feel like.
And I feel that what you mentioned about habits and about routines, it just has to be ingrained, and then that way it helps you to do the bigger things.
Sure.
I mean, like people was like, well, okay, I'm gritty. I wanna make money. How can I get 50 million in revenue, huh? Like, just focus on the small things, the routines, the sleeping good, the making sure that you have the right people around you.
Then you can apply here. If you're tired and lazy, you're not motivated. You're starting off bad. Diet is huge. Everybody wish you had a better diet. But with real estate, it's just go, go, go. Sometimes you eat quick and you gotta go.
Exactly.
I don't have portioned meal plans. Get out, set out. Like my wife's at home, and I'm just like, oh, you made me sick. I can't do that. You're right though.
I was listening to some guy. He was like, he did like 100 million in revenue in his 3 businesses, and he was like, okay, what I do is my money habits, how I'm gonna be a billionaire. He's like, I eat the same thing for every meal.
Ooh.
So I don't have to think about what I'm going to eat.
Wow.
I was like, man, I respect it.
Yeah.
But
that's a little tight.
I can't do it.
Yeah. Because I can't eat chicken salad every day.
No, hell no.
No.
Exactly.
Chicken and potatoes. No, there's levels to this, and to the extent of the effort put in, I think that's why he made 100 million, because my man doesn't eat a variety of food and some other things.
And that works for him.
And that works for him.
Out of the equation.
Yeah.
You just go.
Yeah. That works for him, and everybody's different, and everybody has different drivers and
that's right.
different reasons.
You gotta find what
habits,
works for you.
and I think for sure.
On a side question, what's up with Austin FC? How's it going?
It's going amazing.
I mean, I drive by the stadium all the time, and it's beautiful. I was at the Southwest Gate entrance last night. I was just like looking up. I'm like, we have a legit stadium. This is dope.
I mean, it's a $250 million stadium. It's brand new. There's not gum on the floor. I mean, it's beautiful. It's nice. So, as a team, I think we're 3-8-4.
Okay.
Which is a subpar for MLS record. They just added 2 new guys, so we had a problem with scoring goals. We're obviously a new team, so with the new team, the guys don't know each other. They're coming from all over the world, really, and they just throw them together probably 6 weeks before the season started, and be like, boom, you're on a team, get to know each other. And soccer is very much it's a cultural thing. So some of them don't even speak the same languages.
Oh, wow.
South Americans versus Americans and that whole thing, and they come from literally all over the world. And then they're throwing them together. It's like, how do you communicate with those guys? Like, how do you even form a friendship? Like, soccer is very big on the field, but we're really big about it off the field, right? And soccer players are typically passionate people, and they're very sporty and sportsmen, and you want to hang out with your team, right? And they're big on team. So we're figuring out that team dynamic on and off the field, and I think it's happening.
Okay.
We were having a problem scoring goals, though, which people want to see goals, and that's how you win games, is by scoring goals. And we had a couple We had a couple higher level recruits. I wouldn't say that they aren't producing, but could be better.
Yeah.
So they've got 2 new signees that are supposed to be just ringers, man.
Okay,
And they
very
haven't
cool.
started yet. So they're going to be starting pretty soon. One of them was working on a visa issue, and the other guy, they actually just signed yesterday.
Wow.
And he's coming over, and I think the top salary was like $1.5 million for our top player. This guy was making like $6 million.
Dang.
So he's a fucking star.
All right, he better
Yeah,
show
he
up
better
and show
fucking
out.
show.
Yeah.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
man.
Of course.
For sure.
Of
So
course.
overall, everything's good. The experience at the stadium, if you haven't done a game yet, do it. There's not a bad seat in the house. It's 20,000. Even the nosebleeds, you can see the whole field,
Yeah.
and it's beautiful. We got season tickets a little bit closer to the field.
Okay.
Different experience. It's awesome because we're like, I can yell hi to the players,
Very cool.
basically, but you're looking along like head level.
Okay.
Versus if you're higher, you can kind of see the whole field, see where the ball's going. We're about
Sure.
the 40-yard line. But I mean, I grew up playing soccer since I was 5
Yeah.
years old, so I'm a fan. Obviously, I played college ball,
Yeah.
still play.
Yeah.
So I'm like a stupid soccer fan. It's not that big to a lot of people, but Austin has proven to be a soccer
It's
city.
getting
man.
bigger. I mean,
Yeah.
I
They
was
sold
see
the
it.
tickets out right away. There's a
Yeah.
20,000 person
Yeah.
waiting list to get season tickets.
Dang.
Wow.
So that's huge. They set a record number for that. They set a record number for the jerseys sold on first day.
Okay.
They're still crushing it. I mean, they're just setting records left and right. So
I was telling Alana, I mean, like, I haven't heard one person be like, fuck Austin FC.
Yeah.
Like, who's not, I don't know if you're allowed to not be down.
Yeah.
With Austin FC
Not
right now.
on the
It's
first
such
season.
Yeah, not,
You gotta
it's
give him a chance.
No,
Yeah.
you gotta be down. Like, we're good.
Yeah.
He's like, get a chance.
well, you got to give them a chance because we're an expansion team. Sometimes they take 2 to 3 years to figure out who's playing where, get this guy out, bring this guy in, and
Yeah.
just to feel it, you know.
If that isn't like the same analogy for life, right?
I mean, just like building a team.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Any type of team.
Yeah.
You know, in
Well,
business as well.
Going back to
We're about to end
the
it.
yeah, like
Yeah.
to the grid, and just basically adding this up. If you had to pick between being creative and all the way to like your passions of music and soccer, and or becoming a businessman and leading teams and performing and making them hit goals, which is like the team
sure.
atmosphere.
For sure.
Which one will you pick? Continue being creative and passionate, or the business side of things? What will be the best route for you, for all the audience out there that are listening? Is like, if I had to pick only either creative or businessman, which one would?
It's 100% business.
Wow.
I mean, I love my passions.
Yeah.
My passions aren't making me money though.
Yeah.
So it's got to be business.
Yeah.
I wish I could correlate the two more.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, I mean, it's got to be about business. And
Yeah.
that's just like, I wake up every day to sell real estate.
Yeah.
As much as I'm passionate about music and soccer, I don't wake up every day going, when can I play soccer again? When can I go back
Yeah.
and make more music?
But I do wake up saying, how can I make another $1 million?
Yes.
Yeah.
You know, like, I will
There
wake
you
up
That
on
is what
shit.
I fall asleep to.
Yep.
Like
I
when I'm
dig
at
it.
red lights, Kim and I just had this conversation yesterday. I was like, I can't not stop thinking about how to be better.
Yep.
And I feel like that's grit for
Yeah.
sure. How can I be
100%.
better?
Yeah.
How can I do better?
Yeah.
How can I market better? How can I get creative more?
Yeah.
I'm sitting at a red light thinking, looking at some guy with a wrapped car, and I'm like, oh, maybe I should wrap my car.
Yeah.
And then my brain's going there, and it's
Yeah.
just pew, pew, pew. It's like how many millions of
Fireworks.
thoughts we have
Yeah.
a day. That's my mind with real estate.
Yeah.
And that's my mind with business and work and how can we do better. And the other thing I'm going into now as we approach 10 years in is back to burnout is how can I work smarter, not harder.
Yeah.
And I'd like to work a little less because the 80-hour weekdays
Yeah.
are fucking...
For the young soul.
Yeah. And I'm pulling away time from the kids.
Yeah.
So that's where growing the team is coming a
Yeah.
thing now.
Yeah.
And now I'm grooming these younger agents
Yeah.
to help me out so that I'm not working weekends, which I've been doing for 10 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that gets old because that's when I have a really good time with my kids.
Yeah, exactly.
No school, right?
Exactly.
But that's when a lot of people want to see houses. So last 2 years I've brought on some new hires. So I'm not doing that anymore. So I'm like chiseling it away at the responsibility to provide me more time with my kids, which
Nice.
really at the end of the day,
It's the number one thing.
I mean, and you know this, you will maybe know this
Yeah.
one day, but it just happens so fast. My 3 and 5 year old, you know as well. your boy was born 2 weeks ago. He's almost 3. You know, like it legit happens right in front of your face. Like our lives have been kind of at a constant. I'm not growing anymore. Well, here maybe a little, but you know, my feet are the same size. My head's the same size. My haircut's a routine. Like I'm comfortable. We're working. We stay here. But you bring in this new person into your life, and now your life is time stamped, basically, at pre-kids,
Yes,
and post-kids.
Yeah.
And my 5-year-old that I had, I swear 2 weeks ago, is now reading Encyclopedia Britannicas to me every morning, and I'm just like, where the fuck did the time go? You know, I stay cute and little, and now my 3-year-old's now a toddler, and I'm like, oh, the next phase is him.
You don't want to miss those times,
and I do miss a lot of them. And I hate that, and that's when I start to go back to Kim. I'm like, okay, what do we got to do? I got to free up some time. What do I got to cut?
Yeah.
Go do this less to bring more time in, hire more people. Like what needs to happen? So we're constantly strategizing about how to make quality of life better.
They say people get rich off of systems.
Systems are huge in our lives,
and that's like for me as well. Same with Luis. It's like, I spent the past decade, mastery, 10,000 hours, whatever, doing one thing. And now I'm really good at doing my thing. Yeah. But now I'm at a point now where it's like I'm having to build a team to replicate it.
Yep.
And that's a lot harder to do because they didn't put in the same effort that I put in. So now it's like, if people want to come and put in effort, I can maybe provide a space for you to do that because I got the tools, the keys to the kingdom.
Sure.
But yeah, no, that's the biggest thing. People get rich off of systems, so now that's the next stage of it.
Yeah.
And I think to your question again, you said, you know, what am I doing to stay onto that grid? I think it is systems and routines and systems within business, systems within life, systems all around just to, you know, stay engaged. And I feel like once you're not focused on something, for me at least, is when I'm like, get into the lazy side. Well, maybe I'll go try out a new hobby. Like,
That's right.
No, I don't have time for that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You got $1 million to make today.
Yeah, I got 2 passions over here, music and soccer. I'm good. If I died tomorrow, I'd be happy with where I'm at and proud.
Yes.
You know, I feel like I've been a good person. I don't burn bridges. I've lived here 38 years.
Still walk anywhere you need to walk.
Yeah, and I think that's important.
Yeah. Let's end it there, guys.
I mean everybody could do that.
No, absolutely. This is legit. I really appreciate you coming out and participating.
Absolutely.
This for us is an example of grit.
Yes.
Like we are paying to make this happen because this is a conversation that we were already having, and I know other people are having it. So when I get to sit down with you and I get to hear them out, it's like, I'm not crazy. I am money motivated. My kids are number one. I really don't care about doing many other things because as a man, I have my direction. I have my unit. Now it's like, how good can I be at being me?
Yeah.
And that's what it is.
Yeah.
And I will say too, like I'm not a super deep spiritual guy. I go to church. Not every Sunday. I was raised in church, you know, so I have moral, ethical things like that. That
course.
I, you know, being a Christian, being a good person.
You're gonna get baptized after this.
By you.
Yeah, some holy water. Bam.
But you know, I just stick to the basics, man. My life is not complex. People maybe on the outside think it is, but it's really all about keeping it simple. And my health is super important because without health, you have nothing. That money is no good if I'm dead. You know, so you know, just in closing, I'll just say, you know, I enjoy life.
Yes.
And I don't stress out about a lot of shit. I keep my levels cool. I still work my ass off. I like to have fun at the same time. If anybody knows me, they know that he definitely likes to have fun. So that I think keeps me young at heart. As much as you think I look young, I feel fucking 60.
No way.
But I mean, I've been through the ringer for sure. But I still feel good. I've still got some time in business and in life. I'm probably going to be working forever.
That's what I'm saying.
You know, some type of hustle.
Of course.
I don't have a 401k, so to speak. Right?
So your wealth is in real estate, right?
At 65, I don't think just stopping. You know, so and we're planning for that now by buying real estate.
Exactly.
And paying money here instead of, you know, pulling out money for a college fund. We'll just sell a house. And there you go. There's your college money. So that's the philosophy, right?
Perfect.
And every time, you know, you build up a portfolio of real estate, and that's your retirement plan.
That's right. Of course.
And by keeping life simple and just sticking to those tasks,
habits and routines.
Those routines. Thank God for my wife. She's all about systems and routines. My life is fucking scheduled so bad, but that's great.
No, but my wife is as well. I mean, she. She has it.
Yeah. So, nothing super complex here other than just, keep life fun and simple, man. But I just have that grit work ethic, just like you guys do, man. Thank you for having me.
Thank you, Todd.
Yeah.
Thank you for being
Great to
here.
chat.
You've been a great inspiration.
Awesome.
Hopefully the people that are listening to
Absolutely.
you right now, they can take some nuggets of being in the right vehicle.
Even if they take one.
Yes.
It was worth the 30, 45-minute conversation.
Absolutely. At least I got more motivated just by hearing you.
Awesome, man. Well, I appreciate that. I guess mission accomplished.
Yes. Thank you so much.
Thank you, gentlemen.